Hi friends, this is Srinivas Gattani here. I'm making this video in English and I'm making this video after a period of 7 years. And 7 years ago, I made a YouTube video in Hindi uh, talking about universal basic income. And I had a speculation around how is it connected with artificial intelligence and how we were entering an unknown territory uh, as a collective, uh, the population of this entire globe. After 2017, a lot has happened, and prior to 2017, there was a world-changing event in terms of subprime crisis in America in 2009 and 2008 and 2009 period, where a few of the major banks collapsed in America, and it had a huge financial repercussion throughout the globe. And there was a thing which we all learned called the bailouts. So the banks which were going under, a lot of banks were under stress, but some of the big banks had something called as a bailout by the US government. And these banks were declared as too big to fail, and the failure of these banks could have resulted in failure of the entire US government. This was the narrative back then. So because this event was so huge financially and it impacted almost everybody across the globe, there something happened, and it was called and somebody wrote a white paper, a 9-pager white paper on a technology called peer-to-peer cash, and it was later on called the Bitcoin white paper, and it came out in October of 2008. And it was uh, it was created by an anonymous person called who named himself as Satoshi Nakamoto. And there is since then, since 2008 till 2024, it has never been revealed who actually was he, and is he just a placeholder, or nobody knows. So what did this white paper do is basically this white paper had an already developed technology which was put across, and some of the forums, some of the technology forums in on the internet like bitcointalk.org and few other forums like on Reddit and all, people started talking about it, especially the young who were already techies or who were involved in the niche technologies in America, and people in Europe, and very few of us in India. And I'm pretty sure like the tech world, the techies all around the globe got involved on this topic. So Bitcoin actually came with the narration that we don't need to depend on the centralized banks, and we need to create some kind of an internet money which is decentralized, and which should not be or cannot be controlled by a small group of people. And there should be a mechanism with which we can bring consensus between everybody who's onto this network called the Bitcoin network. And then there should be a math algorithm at the heart of it, which will reward the people who support the network, and people who use the network can later on become rich. Basically, the value of money lies where we place our trust uh, onto something. Where we value something, the value goes there. So a lot of people who started valuing this particular network, this particular technology, made this network more stronger. So people could have, there were various acts with which you can interact with this particular network. You can either become a miner, where you go and support the networks for every transaction which was transacted. You go and mine every transaction which did come across the Bitcoin network, and in turn, you will be rewarded with block rewards when the block is assigned to you, and you are able to mine the entire block or part of the block you got Bitcoin as rewards. So this economy started getting a lot of money as well from various sources, and it attracted a lot of developers because there was incentivization in terms of money. There is a lot of geopolitics and the background to the story, which is open for everybody's speculation. But I'm primarily have been interested in how this technology got traction, and it was pretty clear that it was not just limited to Bitcoin. There were various different flavors of blockchains which have come across, which we all know. We can talk about it for some more time. So soon after the Bitcoin white paper, a lot of cryptocurrencies came up with different kinds of technologies supporting and building on top of the existing core paradigm of having math as the consensus algorithm at the heart of the blockchain. So Ethereum came about. Ethereum came with a new concept of smart contracting. Then XRP Ripple came about. XRP stands for Extensible Rapid Protocol, and it has been developed in a decentralized fashion and then handed over to a company called Ripple. There is a lot of detail associated with it. I'm not going to get into it. I'm interested in the technology. Other than Ripple, Ethereum, there have been so many projects which have grown in terms of layer 1 technologies, layer 2 technologies like Polkadot, Polygon, and Solana, and so on and so forth. Every project brought in something new, whether it's interoperability, scalability, or something of those sorts. And all these projects have been heavily incentivized in terms of money, and there have been so many centralized exchanges initially created for making the tokens which were associated with each of these projects, the tokens and coin. And these coins were made liquid. Liquidity was provided onto the centralized exchanges so that people who are mainly the builders of the project can come and build on top. And there was adoption which was needed for such technologies. So it was a complete ecosystem. The ecosystem involved the platforms on which, the media platforms on which they grew. Basically, Twitter and Telegram are the main platforms. And then the people who were speculating on the currencies, and so on and so forth. So Bitcoin initially came with a narrative that Bitcoin is a libertarian coin, which is going against the grain for the banking system. And it took me a while to understand that going against the banking system means going against the entire nation state, be it anywhere in America, in India, or in China, or wherever. And that's a very tall order to do. So over a period of time from like 2018 or 2017 onwards, or even before, they have been systematically leveling up. And since there was a huge amount of liquidity made available, this ecosystem didn't die down. The governments were not able to kill it. Although there were so many narratives where major countries like China, India, and so many other countries banned Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto ecosystem, taxing them to death and things like that. But the ecosystem still survives. The developer ecosystem still lived. So it has, and to this date, the ecosystem lives profoundly. But there is a major deviance in this libertarian movement. I realized that there has been talks of liberty, of flipping the banks over, in terms moving the governments away, and now, as you see, the things have got really political for the upcoming election, U.S. elections in this year, where the Republican candidate Donald Trump comes on stage and talks about Bitcoin. So it has become a presidential issue at the moment. So Bitcoin started from being a libertarian movement, now all the way up to being a part of the political setup. In a way, yeah, there is a kind of a, instead of raising up to the flipping the system off, they're becoming part of the system, or taking, or actually affecting their power onto the system. On the other hand, there is a few set of coins who have been towing the line of being a part of the system. For example, XRP. XRP has been from the start. XRP was created back in 2012. The Ripple company was created back in 2012. And from there onwards, they have been trying to have partnership with so many banks across the globe, all sorts of financial organizations at various levels. They have been talking to the regulators, and we know all about the famous case which SEC put on and went behind XRP and Ripple as a company, basically. And the judgment is still awaited at the very moment. So there was this company which was kind of pushing this particular token, this particular coin XRP, and it was trying to maintain a legal, politically correct, systemic route of doing and bringing about a similar technology, which is called a distributed ledger technology, which is almost similar to blockchain, and trying to bring this change across the existing financial infrastructure, and wanted to make a change to the and bring an overall technological upgrade to the existing infrastructure, financial infrastructure of the entire globe. So now, if you see, these two were two opposite ends. The Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto ecosystem, which is pretty libertarian, wanted to flip the government off. Later on, when the institutions came buying, they all started loving the institutions, be it Fidelity, be it BlackRock, or so on and so forth. And now Bitcoin is a part of the presidential run issue. So Bitcoin's original narration, if anybody remembers, has been lost. The libertarian movement where Bitcoin was created, and back in 2008, because the banks were getting a bailout, and the people wanted, there were few very motivated people who were technologically very superior, and they were able to code and bring about this infrastructure, and then they were able to influence liquidity into the system. So this narrative, which was very clear and have got traction and have attracted so many people, so many techies, and especially the young minds, over a period of time have lost or has created a bit of confusion. Why the other narrative, the XRP narrative, has still being on the same track, although in the world where we are from 2008 till now, we see a lot of disruption. There are wars, there are financial stresses in the system. Everybody knows about the debt which is hitting the ceiling, and the ceiling being already pushed up so many times, the debt ceiling. And still there is a lot of financial stress in the system, and there has been a lot of loud voices in the mainstream media, in the alternate media, to educate people that there is a lot of stress in the existing systems and things can go over. So the world has changed. Bitcoin's narrative has changed a bit, because they are happy with the institutions coming in and creating ETFs. At the same time, there has been another totally opposite narrative from XRP, which have been towing the line of the systemic setup, and they are in a way trying to help the banks out with a technological upgrade. So I came across this crossroads, and in 2021, I realized that the XRP narrative holds might look a lot fuzzy, but has got a lot more teeth into the system and has got a lot more depth into what they're doing. The transaction, if somebody did an actual XRP transaction using either a hardware wallet or between the exchanges or whatsoever, the transaction speeds have been the same all across since the XRP has come across. So according to their papers, it has been 2000 TPS, and Bitcoin, on the other hand, had a better TPS at the start, and as the hashing complexities, the hashing difficulty has gone up, the TPS have come crashing down to, say, probably if you want to send across a Bitcoin transaction, it might take at least 3 hours or 2 hours. So I tried doing that for almost 12-15 different kinds of chain back in 2017 till 2020, for the examples of Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dash, Ethereum, and Polygon, and so on and so forth. So some of the chains have got really good TPS, like Polygon had a case initially, which was called Matic Network, had a case of 65,000 TPS, which was also a target. The same target is what Visa, the cards company, the Visa Mastercard company, basically the payments company, also had this target of achieving 65,000 TPS. And of course, like if I send it across on Polygon, it's very quick. And this thing has been pretty consistent on XRP. They have their own consensus algorithms, they have their own set of validators, which have been very steady. I'm not sure I have ever heard of XRP network ever going down. For example, you might have heard at least Solana going down 6 or 7 times in the last 1 year. And if you look in terms of market cap, the Solana market cap is right around, if not more, it's around $30 billion or like $20 billion at the moment. So a $20 billion project, if the blockchain has been stopped for like 6 or 7 times, and which is one of the newest blockchain, that speaks a lot. Ethereum, on the other hand, I believe has hardly stopped ever. Probably might have stopped once or something, and it was effectively very vigorously talked about and criticized, or at least in a constructive criticism way, across many forums. So that's the kind of developer strength which Ethereum had. So the point which I'm making is that the XRP network has never been down, to my knowledge. Yeah, so we are at the moment at some kind of a crossroad. I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice, and but I am a great believer in the XRP ecosystem. This video, I wanted to bring about the case for XRP to everybody who's already part of the ecosystem or who wants to understand cryptocurrency, who's new to cryptocurrency. This video wants to guide them in a direction to make them understand that XRP is not only technologically pretty much up there, and it has got a very clear legal case where they have already fought with the regulatory authority, and the case has been ongoing for say 4 or 5 years, or 3 or 4 years, and so they have, if not them, nobody else have proper clarity in terms of operating on a legal ground. The fun part is the governments still have the power, although the turmoil which you see around the news media and all, the governments are in absolute control of the people and the nations and the boundary. So the Bitcoin's narrative, which was to flip the government, to flip the banking system, is nowhere, because they are probably would like to become a part of the system by making it a presidential issue. So that's another fight which is on, but at this time you already have a clear winner up in making, which is which has got consistent technological superiority over the period of years, which has already always been trying to talk to the regulatory authorities across the globe, which has got so many banking partners from all the way from Japan till America, in India, in Australia, in Europe, and so on and so forth, and also is about to get 100% legal clarity. So do consider having some XRP. It is going to go places for sure. Coin, which has been standing tall for the last 10 years, will still be around for the next 5 to 10 years, and do not write it off. So if you are able to read charts, the magic is in the charts and the narrative. Do not write off any narrative. Okay, thank you so much. Take care.